Hey guys, I am sorry I accidentally left the trade recap segment out of the video yesterday. So, um, here it is, and it kind of connects to what I was talking about yesterday. So, if you haven't seen the video yesterday and you watched this first, go back and watch that video. There are some points that kind of connect to what I was talking about in here. So, without further ado, here is our trade recap from yesterday.
All right, guys. So let's look at our trade from today. JD was the one I hitched my wagon to this morning. Um, and just like I've said over and over again, I take my watch list and I try to pick the stock that I feel is giving me the best opportunity to make money. Sometimes I get a little biased when I see a 52-week low, coming into play. But I didn't let that affect me today. I tried to pick the stock that I felt was going to give me the best opportunity. And JD seemed to be the one, after the open. Because what happened, it opened, it pushed up, it could not make a new high, and it started to sell off. Well, I'm not the one that jumps in early. I'm going to wait for it to sell through. I'm going to wait that first 5 minutes. Now, this summer, I'm going to switch to the 3 minute. I've already kind of made that decision, but that's coming this summer. Right now, we're sticking to the 5 minute, and I waited for that first 5 minute candle to close, and we closed through all of this stuff. So here I waited because we had the 50 period here, we had the 50-day from the daily here. I waited until we just dipped below that. I went ahead and got in, using the 5 minute opening range low as my guide. If I came back and closed back above this, I would have taken it off. Plus, I had my max loss stop in place, which is on 300 shares is 50 cents. So that gave me plenty of room to test, this. So I got in, and I knew we were going to have to work through this, the 20 from the daily chart, the 20 EMA. But the only time you will ever see me short just above this is within the first 15 minutes of the open. This is where you have the most volatility, and volatility disregards technical levels. Now, once the volatility starts to slow down, then technical levels start to come into play. So I got in, but I wasn't going to short into the 50. Since it was right there, I waited till we got below it. I got in, and first target was the 100 period on this 5 minute chart. The my profit target, I'm sorry, I got a little dizzy. I was just, you guys, if you're not in the room, I got diagnosed with vertigo. I thought it was a sinus infection all this time, but sometimes I'm having these dizzy spells now. But so if I kind of go off for a minute, that's why. But I always put my target about 10 cents, 5 to 10 cents above the level now, just in case it doesn't make it. Like in this case, I didn't do it. I changed up because we blew through this so good. I felt that we would get this level, and so I put my target at 28.25, and it got within like 6 cents of it or something. So that was my fault for not doing that, like I did here. But we got my first target, didn't get the second target, got stopped out on profit stop. And then here I was catching the continuation. But what happened here was I got in, and of course the stock turned around and it wanted to go back and retest this. Now I could have gone in with 500 or 600 shares on this, which I was thinking about, because I don't like to load up on the volatility. I like to load up on the secondary trade when it's a little bit smoother and less likely to have explosive moves. But the reason why I didn't is because the proper stop would have been the high of this candle here. So around 29.30 would have been the proper stop. So in terms of my max loss stop, it would have to be just over this. So in order for me to give it that much room, I had to go in with 300 shares. And that's probably why I was a little bit late getting in here, is because I was debating on whether to go in, full size or half size. I was debating that in my head, but I got in. And the reason why I don't go in full, because I knew I might have to give this thing a little bit more room. Rarely do we get in and the stock just starts working on a secondary move. A lot of times it's gonna bounce a little bit. You don't have the same volatility that you do at the open. So this is gonna be more susceptible to bouncing and chopping around a little bit, going back, testing levels, and that's really what this did. So several of you took this same trade, but got stopped out on this bounce. A couple of you took it off because you admitted you got scared. A couple of you set your stops too tight. You went in too heavy, did not allow yourself to give it the proper stop, and you got stopped out. And so these are the cases where I make money because I have the proper stop. I'm following what I'm teaching, and I'm allowing the trade to work. Now, I did vent a lot of frustration because of the price action. I did vent a lot of frustration, but it happens. But I did not let it affect me in my trading and in my decision making. Even though I got frustrated, I kept my mind, and I kept telling you, look, as long as this thing is in play, I'm going to let it work. And you see it paid off. But here, I put my stop about a couple of cents above the level. I didn't do what I did over here. Made sure I took profit. And same thing here on the 200. Got it off, and then here, just stopped out on a profit stop once we got back above the 20 here. We claimed the 9, and I got out right above the 20. So textbook trade right here. Textbook opening range trade. This is how you manage it. I just kind of didn't go with my gut here and put it above, about 10 cents above. But I righted that ship over here. I did exactly what I was supposed to do. So really pleased with today. 256.82, not bad. After being red just over $100 yesterday, 256.82 is not bad. Now I apologize, I didn't get to do a recap video yesterday. If you were in the room, if you were in the live stream, you saw it. You saw the trade, so you didn't miss anything. I just didn't get to do it because I had a lot going on. My brother came home yesterday from the hospital, so just didn't have time to do it. But at least you guys got to see it happen live, and in color. So it was a red trade yesterday, red day yesterday. So today, really feel pretty decent about where we ended up today.